So I would say some of the main advantages of learning a foreign language is obviously if it's widely spoken. I guess if it's not widely spoken, it's not as much. But you'd still be able to communicate with more people besides the people where you live or the people who speak your language. And not only that, you can communicate with more people in their native language. They might understand English, they might speak fluent English, but that's not their first or it's not even their daily language. First language is the language you would learn, when you're at home and stuff from your parents. But the daily language is a language you would speak on a daily basis all the time when you're at work with friends, with family. So there's a difference. Some people might not speak English as a first language, but it's their main language of communication with everyone except maybe their parents. And then another thing, and the reason for that is, you kind of reach someone's heart. They say when you talk to someone in language they understand, you reach their brain. But when you talk to someone in their first language, you reach their heart, you show you care about them, you show you have an interest in their culture, their traditions, their family, because maybe they're a good friend or they're your boyfriend or girlfriend and their parents don't speak English, their grandparents don't speak English, or your language, whatever. So this way you can connect with their family on a better level and helps improve your relationship with them in the long term. Another thing is the cultural benefits. Being able to interact with other cultures helps reduce prejudice and stereotypes. Like for example, a lot of white people in the U.S. thought like Trump said, Mexicans are criminals and rapists and stuff. I mean, it's completely wrong. But when people are around people speaking Spanish and they don't know Spanish, they could think all these people are talking about me behind my back. Maybe they're saying bad things about me, my family, my country. But when you know people, when you learn their language and you can understand them, you can talk to them face to face and you have a completely intelligible conversation with them, you learn more about them and you don't fear them as much. So it helps reduce prejudice, especially with immigrants, that these people aren't just some people speaking this foreign tongue saying things behind your back. They're actually nice people and they have a lot of differences in cultural they can see that they can share with you to enrich the culture. And then of course there are intellectual benefits such as improvement in math skills, reading skills, music skills. Although vocabulary is usually slow, it 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 does increase, and the bilingual person ends up, if they're raised bilingual, ends up being pretty proficient in both languages, assuming that they get the right amount of input from each. But yeah, so you know, you have the intellectual benefits. It helps grow parts of your brain. It helps you, you know, there's evidence that shows that people do better on standardized tests. And it helps them with other areas like, music and math. It helps them be more analytical. So that's another benefit. And some evidence shows that speaking multiple languages helps the brain's capacity increase such that when someone who would get Alzheimer's, it gets delayed by about 5 years. I mean, this maybe the research isn't 100% right, but the idea is that you're working out your brain, you're exercising your brain, you're building up neurons, you're building up tissue, and you're helping the brain resist or impacts from age-related degeneration. I hope that answers your question.